Hello friends, welcome to Unacademy. Myself Vijay Gupta, and in today's session we'll be discussing the calculations in physiology. Remember, there have been a trend for the questions in physiology with regard to calculations. Today the system we have decided for calculation is the renal system. So we'll be discussing the questions, or you can say calculations in renal system physiology. Before going to renal system physiology, let me help you with the way we can subscribe to Unacademy Plus. Remember, at Unacademy we are continuously working to make it the best of the approach for the students. So in this Unacademy, for subscription you can go for either plus subscription or you can go for iconic subscription. Remember, in both the cases you are going to have benefit for watching all the classes live. Let me just introduce you the plus and iconic subscription here. Yes, so if you can go for subscription on Unacademy, you can look for iconic subscription as well. In this iconic subscription, remember, in this iconic subscription you can have benefit of Unacademy as well as prep ladder. The subscription is available at the time range from 1 year to 3 years. The advantage are, if you go for Unacademy subscription, you get all the live classes, batch courses, live test and quizzes, and you can solve all your doubts like we are looking one-to-one each other, we are talking one-to-one each other. For prep ladder, you have pre-recorded lectures for all the subjects, for all the topics right in front of you. So you can also have access to all the pre-recorded lectures of prep ladder with top educators in India. So you will get a benefit of learning live from top educators in India, and you also have recorded sessions from top educators in India. And this session, which are available with question bank 2.0 as well as rapid revision course, is also available. This gives you a benefit of both Unacademy as well as prep ladder. Iconic subscription is one of the subscription, which is one of the best subscription you can have right now. The cost is very simple. If you can go for 12 month subscription, remember the cost is something around 49,500. But if you use my code Vijay Gupta YT, you get a 10% discount, and the subscription price will drop to 45,000. Although if you don't want to go for iconic subscription, you can still go for, if you don't want to go for iconic subscription, you can still go for plus subscription. In plus subscription, remember, you also have all the benefit of Unacademy. You can go for 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months or 18 months depending upon your schedule, and still you can still use the code Vijay Gupta YT and you can still get a 10% discount on this iconic subscription also. What do we have at Unacademy? Remember, we have also started T20 test, like we regularly start a test or regular test series every time at Unacademy. Recently we have started a test series of NEET PG daily T20 test series, which happens every day at 8 p.m. So this test series was very successful. Many students have enrolled for it. It is free for all. You all can go for this test series. It's one of the best test series you can have right now. Remember, I have also started with a very interesting course, and that is the course on application of physiology in intensive care medicine. The course is going to start from Monday every day at 8 p.m. This course is available to the students for who are preparing for their upcoming NEET PG examination. And remember, this course will include concepts and application of physiology in intensive care medicine. The chapter I have chosen is respiratory system for this month. If you want to watch this course, you have to subscribe for plus. And if you are not subscribed for Plus, you can still watch all my special classes and all my YouTube sessions still as regular basis as such. Let us now go back to the let us get back to the calculations in physiology. Okay, so in calculation in physiology, remember we'll be looking renal system as a calculation. The most important calculation in renal system is GFR, glomerular filtration rate. Remember, in GFR, glomerular filtration rate is one of the topic which is very much discussed and has been asked many times in previous examination. So let us see what are the intricacies of GFR. GFR is glomerular filtration rate, the rate at which filtrate is filtered at or you can say blood is filtered at glomeruli. There are you can say 4 important pressures or force which work either against or towards GFR. In GFR, we have an glomerulus and a Bowman space through which the system works. Let us first take a simple MCQ here. In the following graph, blood flow through glomerular capillary. Which of the condition describes green color plot? You have to identify the green color plot in the following graph. The green color plot. Increased filtration fraction. Does the green line indicates increased filtration fraction? Does it indicate decreased filtration fraction? Is there an increase in GFR or very high plasma COP at efferent end? See, we have to understand how to read the graph here. The afferent end parameters are given and efferent end parameters are given. Means when the blood is entering at the afferent end, you can see at the afferent end we have the oncotic pressure, osmotic pressure very less because blood has much of the fluid in it, but at the efferent end, this is the efferent end, we have very less fluid, means water is less, and hence the oncotic pressure has increased. This oncotic pressure has been increased in all the 3 cases, a normal one also, lesser and more. So you have to identify that why do we have a lesser oncotic pressure on this side or a colloidal osmotic pressure on this side. So this colloidal osmotic pressure is less in the green line, less than normal. So what could be the answer? The answer is, I would like to have the answer on the chat box. Can I have the answer on the chat box? Can you just tell me hi or hello so that I would like to know whether we are online? Yes, students, just type hi so that my chat box would show your messages live on my chat box. I would like to request all of you to just send me hi or hello so that we can have interaction on my YouTube chat box, please. Yes, for those who are watching me live, the answer for this question is the green plot indicates decreased filtration fraction. Remember. Oh, very good morning, Dr. Moksh. The green line indicates decreased filtration fraction because when the filtration fraction decreases, very right, yes, that's very nice, Dr. Moksh, Dr. Kevlino. Yes, when the filtration fraction decreases, this means the water has not left the glomerular capillary, and since water has not left the glomerular capillary, and the water has remained in the glomerular capillary, and hence the oncotic pressure is less than normal. Let us see what does it mean. How does it mean? Decreased filtration fraction because there is lesser water And when there is an increased filtration fraction, if the filtration fraction increases, too much of water leaves the capillary. Too much of water. See, this is afferent arteriole, we have glomerular capillary and efferent arteriole. So if too much of water, suppose this is Bowman's space, and if too much of fluid leaves the glomerulus, too much of fluid, then the relatively proteins on the efferent arteriole increases. We have afferent arteriole where we have water and proteins, but as the water leaves the glomerular capillary, on efferent arteriole we are left with more proteins and less water, and hence the colloidal osmotic pressure or oncotic pressure increases. So if too much of filtrate leaves the glomerular capillary, the protein concentration will be very high, so higher filtration fraction will have increased colloidal osmotic pressure. And if there is lesser filtration, then it will indicate that we will have a lesser relatively protein concentration, means we will have still some water left with protein along here, and that will indicate the lesser filtration fraction will have lesser colloidal osmotic pressure. What is the significance? Do you know there is one important significance of very high glomerular filtration fraction? What is the significance of having very high glomerular filtration fraction? Whenever we have very high filtration fraction, the COP at the efferent arteriole increases, and we know one thing: if there is proteins, then the proteins on the blood side or proteins in the glomerular side, they decrease filtration, they oppose GFR. So if very high filtration fraction occurs, automatically a very high filtration fraction opposes GFR. Okay, let us try to understand that mechanism. The extracellular protein for the slit diaphragm in glomerular filtration fraction is, the extracellular protein for the slit diaphragm in glomerular filtration barrier is nephrin, neph1, podocin or alpha-actinin 4. Which is the extracellular protein for glomerular filtration fraction? Yes, can anybody answer this point? Yes, Moksha, very right. Podocin is the protein which is the extracellular protein. Rest all the proteins, that is nephrin, neph1 and alpha-actinin, are all the extracellular protein. The ideal substance for measuring GFR should have all the characteristics except, the ideal substance for measuring GFR should have all the characteristics except: it should be secreted in the tubules, it should be non-toxic, it should not remain in the body, should not be protein bound. Ideal substance for measuring GFR should have all the characteristics except. Yes, it should not be secreted in the tubules. It should not be secreted in the tubules. Yes, that's perfect. That's perfect. Okay, let me come back to our calculation part, because we have not done the calculation yet. So let me go for the calculation of GFR. How does GFR is calculated? Yes, the yes, for GFR, remember there are 4 forces. Here, Dr. Kailash, it was intracellular protein, and yes, we'll definitely come to that point. But now we'll talk about GFR. What are the major forces which act for GFR? The forces which act for GFR: we have a glomerular capillary and we have Bowman's space. In glomerular capillary we have blood, whereas Bowman's space has collection of filtrate. The forces which act on GFR, can you tell me what are the name of those forces? These forces which are measured here, which are labeled here, what these forces are known as. The forces which are labeled here, what these forces are known as. Yes, Moksha, I will be taking on Sundays, the Sunday morning that I have taken. So again, coming up days will be on Monday. Tomorrow also I am taking one session at 6 p.m. So I would request you to join me tomorrow also at 6 p.m. for the YouTube session. And again, I will be taking on Tuesday or Thursday also. So, but tomorrow, yes, tomorrow we have one session. Oh, yeah, that's right, Dr. Ananya. Starling's forces. They are called as Starling's forces. So, Starling's forces are the forces which are which are playing a role in GFR. There are two types of Starling forces. One is a hydrostatic pressure, and other one is the COP, that is colloidal osmotic pressure or oncotic pressure. The hydrostatic pressure is because of the water on either compartments, and COP is because of proteins on either side. Proteins. Now this hydrostatic pressure and COP, it works in a very typical manner. Let us take a glomerular capillary and Bowman's space. Okay. Now hydrostatic pressure of glomerular capillary, remember, oh sorry, oh yes, my screen share is not visible. I'm very sorry for that. I hope, is it visible now? Okay, just let me check. Still not visible. Okay. I think okay, let me just make some adjustment. Yes, I think now I got the idea. Yes, now it will be visible to all of you. Sorry. Yes, now the things seem to be fine. So remember, there are Starling's forces. There are Starling's forces which play a role for filtration. And there are two types of Starling forces. One is hydrostatic pressure and the other one is colloidal osmotic pressure or oncotic pressure. In hydrostatic pressure, please remember, in the hydrostatic pressure, it always pushes the filtrate. It always pushes the fluid away. The water is always pushed away. So hydrostatic pressure always pushes the fluid. It always pushes the fluid. So the glomerular hydrostatic pressure, the glomerular capillary hydrostatic pressure will push the fluid or filtrate from glomerulus to Bowman's capsule with a pressure of 45 mm of Hg. Here it is given as 45. So 45 is in this direction. Okay. Look at the direction, very important. 45 mm of Hg is in this direction. The Bowman's space also has fluid or water in it. So Bowman's space hydrostatic pressure, I repeat, the Bowman's space hydrostatic pressure will push the fluid in opposite direction, because whenever there is water, it pushes the water out of that compartment. So the Bowman's space water will be pushed from Bowman's space to glomerular capillary. I repeat once again, the water in the blood will push the water from capillary to Bowman's space, and the water in the Bowman's space will push the water from Bowman space to capillary. So whenever there is water, there is hydrostatic pressure, and hydrostatic pressure will push water away from that compartment. So the glomerular capillary hydrostatic pressure will push the filtrate towards Bowman space with a pressure of 45 mm of Hg. With the pressure of 45 mm of Hg, the pressure on the Bowman space, hydrostatic pressure on the Bowman space, will push the water towards glomerulus with 10 mm of Hg. It is given as -10. Okay, so -10 means because it is opposing GFR, it is in opposite direction. So I'll just write down that also. So 45 is in this direction and 10 is in this direction, that is opposing GFR. The 10 mm of Hg opposes GFR. Okay. Now this was for the hydrostatic pressure. Now let us look for the oncotic pressure or colloidal osmotic pressure. The proteins, they pull water. Just sorry. Yes, sorry. So remember, the proteins, they pull water in that direction. So glomerular capillary, they have blood, and blood has very huge amount of protein, so they will pull the filtrate towards capillary. So the filtrate is pulled, means GFR is opposed. So the opposing pull is -19 mm of Hg towards, or you can say capillary or opposing GFR. Now we can say that Bowman space must be having the oncotic pressure. So can you tell me what will be the pressure of Bowman space? The arrow is not mentioned here. What should be the pressure should be right for oncotic pressure for Bowman space? Can you tell me what pressure should be right for oncotic pressure of Bowman space? We have seen the oncotic pressure of glomerular capillary. Okay, but let us understand what should be the oncotic pressure for Bowman space. Yes. What should be the oncotic pressure for Bowman space? Yes, very right, Dr. Jay. Since there are no proteins, in the Bowman space, the pressure will be 0 mm of Hg. That's very right. So in the Bowman space, the pressure is 0 because there are no proteins in the Bowman space. So I'll write down here 45 and 0 also in this direction, because it is the direction from glomerular capillary to Bowman space. So let me just write down the things here also. The COP of plasma proteins is -19, which push the filtrate in this direction, and we have Bowman space pressure, which is 0 mm of Hg, which is pushing in this direction, pulling in this direction. So two arrows in one direction and two arrows in other direction. Let us just calculate those calculations here. 45 plus 0, which is from capillary to Bowman space, minus 10 plus 19, which is in this direction. Okay, so the overall pressure is 45, which is from capillary to Bowman space, minus 29, which is from Bowman space towards capillary. So the overall pressure you get is 16 mm of Hg in this direction. So that's a net filtration pressure. That's the best way to calculate GFR. I don't really follow this concept. I follow concept of direction, which is moving, and hence you get the idea of in which direction. Let me give you one more question for your solving. Suppose if the Bowman space hydrostatic pressure, I'm giving you a question here for your solving. Suppose if the Bowman space hydrostatic pressure is 15, okay, and glomerular capillary hydrostatic pressure is say 60, okay, and the glomerular capillary oncotic pressure you can say it is 30, and Bowman's space oncotic pressure you can say it is 0. Can you tell me the net filtration pressure now if this is the data given? Can you tell me what will be the answer? Yes, Bowman's space hydrostatic pressure 15, GC hydrostatic pressure 60, Bowman's space 0, GC 30. Yes, 60 plus 0 minus 30 plus 15. Very good. 60 plus 0 minus 30 plus 15. So the answer will be yes, 15 mm. 60 minus 45. No, Dr. Mohammed. You see, we have 60 mm of Hg. We have 60. I'll explain to you here. 60 mm of Hg, Bowman's glomerular capillary hydrostatic pressure, which is in this direction. Okay, and Bowman's space oncotic pressure 0, which is plus 0 again in this direction. Okay, we have glomerular capillary. We have glomerular capillary oncotic pressure, which is 30, which is in opposite direction, and we also have Bowman's space hydrostatic pressure 15, which is in this direction. So 60 minus 30 plus 15 is 45, and what do we have is 15 mm of Hg. So the net filtration pressure is 15 mm of Hg. I hope you are getting this point, everybody. Yes. Let us look at the next calculation for GFR. Net filtration pressure and the filtration fraction. Once you have an idea of net filtration pressure, say we have got 15 mm of Hg. Okay, now the amount of blood getting filtered, amount of filtrate getting accumulated with 1 mm of Hg is called as hydraulic conductance or filtration coefficient. So Kf is, you can say, either hydraulic conductance, means how much amount of water is moving, or you can say how much of filtrate is moving. Let us say that Kf for our case is 10. I'm just keeping a simple number, 10 ml per minute per mm of Hg. 10 ml of filtrate is getting filtered per minute per mm of Hg. So we have 15 mm of Hg as the filtration fraction, and 10 ml is the filtrate per minute. So 10 ml per minute, okay, into 15 mm of Hg. So you get the GFR as 150 ml per minute. Very simple, 150 ml per minute. I'll give you one more simple understanding here. See, for 1 mm of Hg we have 10 ml filtration. Then for 15 mm of Hg, how much filtration do we are going to have? That becomes X. So 10 into 15 will give you the answer of 150 ml of per minute. So the net filtration amount, or you can say GFR, is 150 ml per minute. Okay, are we all clear? So this is what about the calculations of GFR. Now once you know all these ideas, once you know all these pressures, we can definitely understand or answer the factors which can vary GFR. Suppose if I say that glomerular capillary hydrostatic pressure increases, if I say that glomerular capillary hydrostatic pressure increases, the GFR will increase or decrease? Please answer this question. If I say that glomerular capillary hydrostatic pressure increases, that PGC increases, it will increase or decrease GFR? What do you say? Is it going to increase GFR or is it going to decrease GFR? Yes, please. Yes, very right. It is going to increase GFR. So GFR will also increase. Very good. Now Bowman's capsule hydrostatic pressure. Which pressure? The Bowman's capsule hydrostatic pressure. If this increases, the GFR will increase or decrease. If Bowman's capsule hydrostatic pressure increases, the GFR will increase or decrease. Yes, please. Yes, very right. The GFR will decrease. That's very great. That's really great, Dr. Mox, Dr. Ananya. So this indicates that you have got the idea, you have got the concept clear. I'm very happy. I'm very happy to see that you have got your concept clear. Once you have a image memory, or you can say pictorial memory of this, once you have the pictorial memory of this diagram, you can very well understand in what direction what pressure is going to help you. Now suppose if I say that oncotic pressure of the glomerular capillary increases, oncotic pressure of the glomerular capillary increases, the GFR will increase or decrease. Yes, oncotic pressure here, this oncotic pressure if it increases, the GFR will increase or decrease. Yes, please. Yes, again it decreases. That's perfect. So increase in oncotic pressure decreases GFR, and that's the very important hint, because there were questions in previous examination. If there is too much of oncotic pressure, if there is too much of filtration, then oncotic pressure increases. And remember, if there is too much of filtration fraction, too much of filtration will increase oncotic pressure, and increase in oncotic pressure will finally decrease GFR. This is called as glomerulotubular balance. Like initially GFR is increased, but too much increase in GFR will oppose that GFR. Why? Two reasons. Initially proteins will be increased, okay, and other thing, the Bowman space hydrostatic pressure also increases, because too much of filtrate here will oppose. So the GFR has got some sort of auto regulation. Initially it will increase, but beyond certain limit an increase in GFR will be decreased. So this is all what I wanted to explain in today's session. I hope we have got all the things clear. Yes. Yes, great, thank you for being there. And just last few things I wanted to explain, or I will just introduce you. At Unacademy we are also there on Telegram group. You can always find Unacademy on Telegram as NEET PG and preparation. We are also there on Facebook, so you can please join us on Telegram and Facebook for all updated information about upcoming sessions and the revision sessions or the plus subscription which we are taking. Remember, you can either go for plus subscription or iconic subscription. In iconic subscription you have benefit of both, that is Unacademy as well as prep ladder. In plus subscription you have complete advantage of learning Unacademy live sessions. All the live sessions are visible to you. And if you are not subscribed to plus or iconic, you still have access to live interactive classes or special classes which we take, all the educators take at regular intervals, which is almost 7 hours per month for me. So you can attend all those sessions live at Unacademy, just if you are not subscribed. So it depends upon you if you want to go for just free live classes, plus subscription or icon subscription, depending upon your target, exams and your duration of studies. Yes. Yeah, Dr. Mohammed, I couldn't get this word here. No problem. Mohammed Salim, it's I think Russian language. I'm sorry, I'm not that much good in Russian language. So if you could explain this to me, I would be very happy. Okay, thank you. It means thank you in Russian language. Is that so? THCST. Okay, that's great. That's great. I will keep this in mind, and even I will try to write it out here. It's C. Thank you, Dr. Kailash. Report to physiology? Yes, definitely. Okay, C, then some ulta U, then A, then C, then reverse N, then you have 6, and then O. Thanks. Oh, thanks very much. Thanks very much. Thank you for being there. Spasiba, yeah, spasiba. Spasiba is the word I always remember. Spasiba, yes, it's called as spasiba. Oh, yes, SPASIBA. Yes, spasiba. Yes, I used to have one uh, mall in front of my hotel. It was something like this. So I used to call it as popped, but student told me it's a roast. It is ROST, roast. The roast is written as POCT, popped. Very funny. We have to learn new things. Thank you, Moksh. Definitely we will learn reproductive physiology. We will also take some sessions on intensive care medicine. Please remember, today at 6 p.m. I have kept a session on not reproductive, sorry, it's application of physiology in intensive care medicine. I will explain the concept of positive and expiratory pressure. Please attend this session at 6 p.m. today, and tomorrow I am also taking one YouTube session at 6 p.m. Thank you all for now. Thank you all. See you all. Bye bye.